Hi, I'm Bybreen and welcome back to another episode of Soul Stirring Astrology, where I give you my textured take on the world of astrology. In a couple of days, on July the 27th, there's a full moon lunar eclipse that takes place in Aquarius at 4 degrees, and the moon is conjuncting Mars at 4 degrees in Aquarius, and they are opposing the Sun and the North Node, which are forming a conjunction in Leo. Also within Leo, there is Mercury, which is moving retrograde. It's currently at 23 degrees and will move back to 9 degrees of Leo. There is also this opposition between Venus and Neptune. Venus is in Virgo, so it's in detriment. It's opposing Neptune. There's also this T-square that's going on because you have the moon and Mars squaring Uranus, and then you also have the Sun and the North Node squaring Uranus. So Uranus is at 2 degrees of Taurus, and it's also in reception with the Moon-Mars conjunction. The reason being is because the moon is exalted in Taurus and Uranus rules Aquarius. There's also a trine between Saturn and Uranus, and there is a trine between Chiron in Aries, and it's trining the Sun and the North Node. So what does this all mean? Lots of aspects, but a really potent time, because it is now time for you to be the breakout star in your own show, your own movie, your own play, your own composition. Doesn't really matter, because, you know, when we're looking at Leo, we're looking at creativity, but it's a creativity in terms of your identity. It's the road to your own personal redemption. It is the road to individuation. So it's a lunar eclipse, and whenever you have a lunar eclipse, like the solar eclipse, but it's about the light is being shone so powerfully into a particular area of life. So anything that has been swept under the carpet in terms of your emotions can no longer live in that subterranean world. You have to bring it to light. You have to now have the courage and the confidence to deal with what you have repressed, ignored, suppressed, and hoped would just disappear into the ether. No more. So the moon is forming a conjunction with Mars. So you've got Mars and the moon. The moon is dealing with emotions, the past. Mars is about the assertion of emotions and fighting for what you truly believe in. They're both in Aquarius. So here is a time for you to break free of emotions that have trapped you in, you know, in your heart, but also in your mind, that are holding you back. And so what you're trying to do now is to prevent the continuation of these destructive emotional patterns. The moon, as I say, and Mars are forming this square to Uranus. So here again the signature is being shown, whereby you're called to break free of these emotional patterns that are undermining you, because now is the time for you to show your uniqueness, be honest about what it is that you truly feel. Where can you show your, not so much eccentricity, but where can you be nakedly honest with your emotions? The Sun is also forming this conjunction with the North Node. Both are about your future direction. Both want you to step into being brave, step into being courageous, step into being the leader of your heart, because Leo represents the heart. And so here we're looking at the emotions that are in the heart, the emotions that are in the mind. What have you been holding back on? What is it that you have been afraid to say to that person about a particular situation? The reason for this, you've got the opposition between the first house of self and the seventh house of other. The time has come. It's like the clash of the titans, where you have to stand firm in what it is that you want to nourish your own life. We're dealing with the lunar eclipse here. So it's about how can you become your inner parent. And in order to be your inner parent, you have to be true and honest with yourself and with the other person as to what it is that you need. And if you're unable to truly receive from that person what you need in addition to what you can give to yourself, the signatures are all over this particular configuration, it's time to set yourself free from that relationship or that situation or that scenario that has truly undermined your heart. You know, from a Jungian point of view, this is the path of individuation. An individuation process is about you becoming whole, you becoming yourself. It's the journey towards self-leadership about what truly matters. Venus, as I say, is opposing Neptune. You've got to be careful here because Venus is in detriment. Venus is about what you value. And it's in Virgo, so it's calling on you to be so discerning and discriminatory about what it is that you value and to protect that. If you don't, you may be on this road, or you may be continuing to sacrifice yourself in relationships in order to hold on to the relationship, but to lie about what's really meaningful to you. Also, there's a potential for deception. Either you are deceiving yourself, saying that my needs don't really matter in order to hold on to a relationship, or you're naively remaining in a relationship and somebody could be taking advantage of you. So this opposition between Venus and Neptune is about how you quell illusions in your life and to be honest about the changes that need to take place. The changes can be done in a very solid and structured way because we've got Saturn trining Uranus. Saturn is about solidity, authority, responsibility and structure, and Uranus is about the new changes that need to be brought about, and they can be done in a structured, natural, there's no tension in terms of the changes that will take place as long as you are honest. Now, Chiron is forming a trine with the Sun and the North Node. Chiron's at 2 degrees of Aries, and you have the Sun conjunct the North Node in Leo. So where you've got Chiron in Aries, there has been some type of wounding to your identity. Aries, you know, you've got the Sun which is exalted in Aries, so that's about your core identity. So in the past there has been some type of wounding. Now there's a trine between Chiron, the Sun and the North Node. This is a beautiful time to heal yourself as you're moving into this new identity. So the way that the planets are aligned, the communications between the planets are suggesting you can no longer lie about your emotional situation in relation to other people. You can't lie about it anymore. You can't pretend, you can't sweep it under the carpet, you can't hope it's going to go away, and you can't, or you should no longer be expecting the other person to change the situation. This is about you. The spotlight is being shone on you. North Node is also in Leo and will only be there until November the 5th. So please, please, please take advantage of the cycle. The Sun is in Leo. Like every day, nearly 8 billion of us wait for the sun to rise in the east and to set in the west. The sun brings light, the sun brings warmth, and the sun brings vitality. And with this lunar eclipse in Aquarius opposing the moon and the North Node in Leo, you've got to bring vitality into your life. Bring the colour back into your cheeks. You know, bring the zest back into your life. You can do this. Everything is aligned for you to do that with confidence, with clarity, and with courage. So that's it. That's what's happening in the skies. That's what's happening in terms of your cycle. So you've got this tension, as I say, between the first house of you and the house of others. Which brings me to the quote of the day. And the quote of the day is by Odetta. And what he said is this: others cannot bestow dignity onto you. That is something you have to give yourself. And with this configuration of planets, it's time for you to rise and stand with dignity and to honour you. So on that note, beautiful people, put your comments in the comment box below. I no longer do questions of the day from myself because I'm inviting you to pose a question. As you know, I'm bringing changes to my channel so that I continue to live an authentic and soulful life. So astrology will still be here, that's central to who I am, but I'm also introducing information about business development, technology, health and well-being. So you can ask me any question from any area of life. I've got quite an extensive background and I want to get into more engagement with you. So put your questions in the comment box below, and I will select a question based on the one that's most supported or liked. So if you want your question to be answered, get other people to like and support your question. I'm also introducing an advice element to my channel. So I may pick up 1 or 2 themes that I see and then, you know, provide some advice around that. So if you've got a theme or a question or an issue, put them in the comment box below. So until then, beautiful people, really take advantage of this lunar eclipse that's coming up in 2 days' time on July the 27th to liberate, to break free from those old, worn out emotional patterns that really are killing your spirit. The sun is about spirit and the moon is about your soul, and both are being called upon for you to address with this lunar eclipse. So until then, stay well, beautiful people. Do the work that needs to be done and set yourself free. Until then, bye.